Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody is having a good time. I did not expect to be here streaming on the official channel tonight, but Mokog sent me a message, said he was not feeling well, so Mokog asked me to take over his block on the official stream tonight. So me on the official channel on Wednesday is not going to be a regular thing. This is just kind of a special occasion for us, helping Mokog out, because I'm afraid if I said no, he would stream, and I don't want that when you're not feeling sick. I'm more than happy to do it. I wasn't feeling so great myself this morning, but an afternoon has changed things right around, and I'm doing much better now. So, if this is your first time popping in and seeing my face on the official channel, my particular gimmick in my show is Dungeon Masters of Entrath. This is an interactive hex game show where I have designed a series of encounters that people need to play against. Anyone who wishes to challenge me would start in room number 1 and face the deck there, and then move on to one of the connected rooms, and you're trying to get to one of the 3 remaining bosses, which are in room 17, 10, and 12. All the other nodes that are scribbled out here on this overhead map have been defeated by other people already. This is the final night of this particular dungeon. Yesterday was going to be the final night, and then I was going to unveil the new dungeon next week, and that's still the plan, that next week is going to be the new dungeon. But we're gonna ride this baby out for one more night of fun shenanigans here. The format is immortal. If you want to challenge me in the name of trying to win some prizes, type in !challenger in chat, and that will get you entered into the keyword raffle that I use to randomly draw to see who our next contestant is going to be. If I do not have challengers, because this is a surprise stream and I know people weren't rolling up expecting that this is what we were going to be doing tonight, then I will find other ways to pass our time. Probably roll through an Evo, maybe do a draft, but if I'm doing a draft, then we're locked into that and not able to do dungeon challengers for quite a while. So I'm probably going to lean towards things that are like one game in and out to pass time if we don't have folks. And I'm going to be dropping some spoilers, probably pretty extensively, during the stream for what the dungeon's going to look like next week. I was going to slowly spoon feed out the names and a little bit of background on all 5 Tower Lords that make up the super bosses of the dungeon over the next 5 days, but I already have those ready to go as slides for when I need to step away and take a break, so you'll get to take a look at that tonight if you're here. Don't think I mentioned, for challenging the dungeon, the format is immortal. Common and uncommon cards only, except that you may use rare resources. I'm going to take the map down here. I will add Seeking Challengers. There's the command. Do not have anybody entered in yet. It's really the first person who types it in chat. I'll just make a show of doing a roll for him. But in the meantime, I cracked open an Evo earlier today, but I haven't done any building on it yet. So let's look here to start. I kind of skimmed through this a little bit, though I hadn't settled on a particular deck idea or a particular shard combination. Rift Core I'll throw in as a A just in case. Randamp is decent in Evo. I don't know that I'd play it anywhere else, but I do kind of like it in Evo here. In Blood, we've got Nameless Devourer as a rare, a 5/5 Crush, deploy, bury target. Your opponent may bury the top 10 cards of their deck if you do destroy this. So it's either mill 10 or you get a 5/5 with Crush on turn 2. Very powerful. There's a Balance the Scales here to bring it back and give it +1/+1 for each constant you control. even if that isn't, even if there's no bonus there, to bring that back and have a shot at milling 10 more is pretty significant. Herald of Roses, your other undead you control have +1 and life drain. Well, the buffalo counts. Buffalo's the only thing that counts. That could make a zombie, which I think would count. Yeah, undead, that would count, but that requires some work. Alright, so in Diamond, 2 Light of Day is removal. Hyperborean Hermit can lock down something if you have an elemental. We have 1 Spirit. We have a Daybreak as a constant. 2 sources of Illuminate, but Illuminate's not very heavy in here. Communion of Wax, the other rare, target troop in your hand with cost 5 or less gets all socketed powers of this and put it into play. A couple combat tricks here, piece of removal, an okay troop, some pretty bad troop, expensive. In Sapphire, this looks like a whole lot of nothing, doesn't it? What is up, Neo Master? You are the first person to dare to throw down as a challenger. I think. Oh, I think Wild's probably one of the shards, but yeah. Let me go. Cancel. You are welcome. Glad you got the prizes, and that I didn't screw up the mail system. So, drum roll. This will come as a shock to nobody. Winner, the first person to challenge the... Okay. How is it now? I just turned down the desktop audio slider, so let me know if it's still a problem. Since I'm not running regular music, I'm trying to find out what the balance level is between game audio and my own voice, so that's not just literally the sound of my own voice the entire time. Okay, good. So, your in-game name I remember from yesterday is the same as Twitch, and so I'll send you a whisper. Go ahead and throw me a challenge when you're ready, and we shall get rolling. You can use the same deck as yesterday. You don't have to have a new one. Same deck is fine. And bear with me as I'm just kind of bouncing around a few things. I think I had everything just about how I wanted it for streaming. But I was kind of throwing it together in a hurry. Okay. There we go. Sure. Okay, good. We will go first. And I'm going to keep this 2 Fate Weave shards, 2 regular shards. Seek some adventure here to get some non-resources, since we have plenty of resources. Pass the turn over. Give it back to Neomaster. Okay, I was hoping for a cheaper troop. Tricks don't do as much good when there's nothing to throw a trick onto. Fate Weaving again for another resource. And passing it back over. Alright, and Neomaster is running the same Droka really game. Get a Fate Weave twice in a row and get 2 pummels twice in a row. Lesai. Well, this isn't the optimal use of a Poppy Pixie, but we're gonna throw this out to have something on the board. It will turn itself into a squirrel. Building a mill deck, but still searching for cards. Nice. Okay, so we have Eager Lackey out. That'll grow that again. So that is now a 3/4. Alright, I think I play the Whimsy Witch, play the Shard, and pass. I'm not sure that there's much to be gained by swinging into that. Sadly, though, 2 conscript hits and that gets out of range. 1 and Poppy Pixie plus Wild Growth would still stop it. So, Bishop Elijah, aka Neomaster, weighing the options here. I'm just going to go with another Droka Outcast into a slow resource, probably leveling out thresholds, and indeed that is the case. Alright, any conscript triggers in here that cost 2 or less. Nothing pre-combat. Okay, so sadly this can come back, so taking the trade here would not be the worst thing in the world for Neomaster. Like, Poppy Pixie's gonna live, but I don't have the Wild Growth anymore. Just kidding. I lose my troop and my trick. Blown up. Alright, 5 resources. I know this isn't technically strategically correct, but I am going to attack here because the only thing I have to look forward to is a Coconomancer that I can't yet afford. That bill's gonna just get bigger and bigger. Oh, that would be so good if there were any other troops for that effect to matter. When this deals damage to an opposing champion, transform each other troop you control into another random troop with cost +2. That would have been amazing with any other troop on the board. Uh-oh. Sacred Stance. When you conscript, troops you control and in your hand get +1/+1. And that's why I said this one's pretty much over. Alright, let's see what this will do. We get a 9/4 crush 9, 10, and I only have enough resources to hit this once. So almost had it. 5 points short. Block there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 might not be dead. Probably dead, but might not be dead. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Scratch that, we're dead. Winter's Grasp was a good addition to your basic conscript deck from Dead of Winter. Very, very potent and cheap removal. So Neomaster has defeated the butterflies and is going to move on to the next room in the dungeon. Again, our final night of this dungeon, and next week we are starting something completely new and crazy. But for now, 5, 8, 2, or 15 is the choice. As shown on the map here. Neomaster wants 8. Alright. 8 is Ornithophobia, aka the fear of birds. That is what this deck is all about. Okay, so this is the most hilariously bad hand. 2 Wells of Purpose require you to have a threshold for them to do anything. So, nope. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Neomaster's warning me. Insane hand. Seeks guidance right away. Meanwhile, this hand currently does nothing until turn 4. Alright, now it does something on turn 2. Cloud Runner. It's a 2/2 for 1, but its power at that low price comes with the fact that it needs 2 thresholds, so you can't really play it until turn 2. Oh no. Oh no, the turn 2 Sacred Stance. Everything's gonna become a biggity bomb over there. So here it comes. Oh man. Alright, so everything in the hand just got +2/+2 basically off of those conscript hits. And so air superiority is not going to be probably enough to help keep track, but we're gonna try to race like a champ. because we do have a health advantage, and we can really righteous whack shot momentum. When this deals combat damage to an opposing champion, another target troop you control gets momentum 1. That's a solid hit. Holy. That, yeah, Nail Master did not undersell that hand. Definitely did not undersell how good that hand is. It still has 4 cards in it. That would be a lot. In a world of 4 drops. I think I want Mandate here. I'm gonna do the paltry minor reduction on all of them. There's going to be some math fudging going on here on my part, because I don't think the race can be won anymore. But just chump blocking only forestalls the inevitable. Web speaker Cenobite. When one of your cards or effects would conscript an underworld troop, conscript that many +1. Oh, how lovely for a conscript deck. And that was generated by the Eager Lackey, so value upon value upon value. It would have to be, because rares and legendaries aren't allowed. But obviously those were both created because they're in the wrong shard background for what those cards actually are. That's another obvious tell. Otherwise, when in doubt, you can, if you hover over something, you can see the white line there to what made it. No, Goliath. Normally, I would be streaming from my own channel tonight. No, normally I am. Now that I'm on the official channel, I'm streaming on the official channel on Tuesdays, and then normally would stream on my own personal channel on Wednesdays. Mokog was not feeling well tonight and asked me to fill in on his slot on the official channel. So tonight I am Mokog. If only this had speed. And so we're just doing what we normally do with the Dungeon Master's Entrath here tonight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still dead. I can swing with all of those. That hits for 10. Gonna hold, but pretty doomed here. Just to add insult to injury, Winter's Grasp is going to avoid one of those birds. This dungeon has the phobias in it and a bunch of other things. Dungeon Master will still be available Wednesday next week on your own channel. That's my plan, yes. Nameless Dungeon, yes. Yes, it will be on both. It will be... The Towers of the Nameless City will be on my channel on Wednesdays, the main channel on Tuesdays. I will... You know, a lot of it's going to be improvisational. Most of the big pre-planned stuff will happen on the official channel as far as like storytelling goes, but there will be still more individual story beats and stuff happening on my personal channel for fun, and people will still be able to challenge the dungeon and make progress. Alright, so that was room 8. So now Neo Master has the choice of 11 or 9. Going to 11. Alright, so it will be 11 and 12 then from here out to finish the dungeon. 11 into 12. Take the map down. 11 is monophobia, the fear of being alone. It was so named because every card in this deck is a singleton, or at least the troops definitely are. I can't remember if I went singleton on the actions too, but the troops are definitely alone. People have said the main. I suddenly lost the ability to talk. The name may not fit because, you know, they are a team working together, but this just needs human allegiance, right? I already lost against Candle Lady Boss the first dungeon run I did. Time to take revenge. Alright, human, this hand works. So you gotta, I think, yeah, this has to be diamond. When another unique troop comes into play, and an epic counter this unique troops you control have +1/+1 for each epic encounter on Exiled Bard. We'll go ahead and drop that down. Pass her over. Okay, so Fate Weave, nothing played. Exiled Bard is gonna actually get to stop singing and start swinging. This is going to be a Sapphire Threshold. Gonna grab a third resource here to make sure that there's no curve problems next turn. Blessing of the Fallen, real old card you may not recognize. Troops you control are inspired by troops with Inspire in your crypt as though they were in play. So even if a troop like the Protectorate Clergyman dies here, any troop that costs 3 or more that comes into play would still get +1/+1 off of the Clergyman. Which is nice. The wrinkle to that is that we know Neomaster is running Void actions, which could take some of these out of play, and therefore Blessing of the Fallen's not going to help. Alright, so 2 turns, nothing on the board yet. I may actually want to go off curve here to try to get is it greedy to want to keep steadfast? I'm doing it. This may not be optimal. Optimal would have been to use all 3 resources for the Clergyman. But now next turn playing this, or if I find a Ruby Threshold, the Ardent Officer, they're both going to get inspired to have steadfast, so I can both attack and block with them. And against a deck that wants to crank out a lot of troops, that could be big. Sacred Stance is going to be a problem. Yes, 10 minutes until Hex Primal Immortal Weekly. So, in case you are watching, you have 10 minutes if you wish to be participating in the Immortal Weekly. And Inspire, wow, why are we getting a card error? When a troop dies, it gets draw a card. I'm probably getting too cute with my trying to stack Inspire triggers here. Listen, if Neomaster's deck doesn't go crazy now on 4, something's very wrong. This is exactly... I mean, that Conscript deck, everything in that deck should cost less than 4. Alright, so the Mirror Knight gets voided. Neomaster doesn't want us drawing cards. Don't blame them. And Dreamsmoke Mystic, you can see the top card of your deck. Pay 2 to put the top card on the bottom. That's a nice card. Also need a Ruby Threshold to activate Sir Giles Rowan. Target troop you control and troops that share a trait with it in all zones get +1 attack. Everything's human, so all human troops would see a benefit for that. Kraken Guard Mariner has Steadfast. It will inspire things to get +2 additional points of defense, which would make the Clergyman a 3/4 with Steadfast. But the Inspire train is taking too long to get set up right now. I don't like where this is going compared to Conscript is going to go crazy starting right now. So Call of the Deepwood. Choose an Ardent or an Underworld troop that costs 5. Put it into play. You don't obviously know what the troop is in advance. You're picking a faction, and oh my... Lasgar Chull. Speed, deploy. Each opposing troop gets, when this blocks, it gets -5/-5 this turn. And all of those did get that line of text on them. Wow. Only swinging with Lasgar. It's suicide to block. Oh, thank goodness, a cobblestone. Okay, here's the ruby. All humans get +1 attack. And then Ardent Officer is going to come down. It has, when this attacks, Ardent troops you control get +2/+1 this turn. And I don't think it makes sense to swing into that. Gonna pass. Lasgar is a big problem. If you, out there in the audience, and again, nobody is required to participate, you will never hear me guilt anybody into participating or not participating. That's not how this works. We're very casual here. But if you do wish to challenge the dungeon, as you can see on the lower left corner of your screen, !challenger is your way to let me know you are interested, and that will get you entered into the keyword raffle for a spot. Currently, Goliath is the only one who is entered in for that, who has not challenged the dungeon yet tonight, because Neomaster's the other who is facing us right now. Alright, so I'm going to sacrifice the exiled bard here. So adding +2/+1 makes this a 5/5, this a 5/4, this a 5/4. Probably lose the Ardent Officer to the Dreamsmoke Mystic, but that's the way it might have to be. And sadly, oh wow, that's terrible too. The Dreamsmoke Mystic could come right back because of charge powers. So that was actually probably a little loose to swing in there. But Sacred Stance versus Inspire. Sacred Stance wins the nuclear arms race of which one of us can build up troops faster. And that tends to make me want to be aggressive and hope for a mistake. Evil dungeon master that I am. Master needs a moment here to weigh out the options and is blocking like so, so I am going to lose the Ardent Officer as expected. Pass the turn. Dreamsmoke Mystic's coming back. That costs 2. Not enough charges to do that again. Oh no! Another Call of the Deepwood. It got turned into a... Each card in your hand transforms into an Oracle song. So we now know that Neomaster is sitting on 2 Oracle songs. Spent the charge power for nothing. Because that troop is now an Oracle song. And that is, by the way, another one of the things that people complained about Conscript about was that this hit was possible, but it's so extraordinarily unlikely. I mean, it's 1 in whoever knows how many. Alright, so have to leave up a blocker here. Can't swing over the top of that. I don't think Neomaster has any reason to be too sad over the loss of 2 cards, because that has us dead in 2 turns. I think I double block here and then attempt to kill this because Blessing of the Fallen is still a thing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm gonna triple block. Make sure it dies. And unless there's a combat trick, one of these is gonna survive. Oh! That's relevant. Alright, so order matters here. Blessing of the Fallen has to be played first so that all of those dead troops can still inspire the Buccaneer. Buccaneer will bounce that back into the hand. And now we can swing for 3. And we're actually not dead yet. Alright, there's hope. The line of hope is thin, but it is there. Once again, the name of the game is Can We Stop the Miss Song? Nope. Nope, that's not going to stop the Miss Song. We got. These guys want to go down in a blaze of glory. Not taking any chances, even though we have no resources. It really doesn't matter because this sails through, and Neomaster is going to go on to the final boss. and the final boss of the track that Neomaster had chosen is room number 12. That's where we are in the dungeon here. That deck is Gynophobia, aka the fear of women. Naturally, the most powerful ladies in the Hex landscape right now would be those who are friends with good old Cassia Goldenlight. Well, that is loading up. Where's my map? Just in case. Alright, so we get the jump on Conscript this time. Keeping this hand. And one of the final boss cards here is Llama Herder. Exhaust one or more troops you control, and this gets +1/+1 for each troop that was exhausted that way. I already have 4 resources in hand, so I want to Fate Weave for a non-resource. And pass the turn. Candlelit Zealot. Thank you. See, I'm such a pro. I am such a pro. I continuously forget to turn that off sometimes. Because I think you all would like to see what the hex is actually going on, right? Alright, so will this get voided? No, it will not be voided. It will be Decree of Banishing. Makes sense to remove a high-level threat. So we still have resource 3, 4, and 5, Seeking Adventure again, playing out the Initiative Wax, and passing it back over. Next turn it'll be the Well of Conquest for a diamond and a Candlelit Zealot. And we'll see who can grow faster, the Conscript Army or the Candle Army. There's another voided target. Voided before it could make any candles. I'm fine with that. I think there's scarier targets in this deck to be voided, so I'd rather the sweet little girl take that hit than one of the taller ladies. Templar of Lumos here is gemmed with when this attacks, it gets flight. So we're going to try to sail over Neomaster's conscripted army on that side of the board to smack face and then illuminate for it. Alright, some more conscription. I'm just happy there's not a sacred stance out yet. Neomaster had found that one already, thinks it'd probably be a little more tricky. He's not happy with his hand. So bad. And there's another void. So that is 2 Winter's Grasp gone. I will take that all day. Because to block that means it's going to go into the crypt, get resurrected, have another chance to conscript something. You swing, I swing. Throw down Templar of Lumos. Resources don't matter this turn particularly, so seek some adventure to make sure we find something else. Wow, the removal game is on point, so no troops really showing up yet. Okay, well there's one. Viridian Diligence. Cards in your hand get cost -1, and if you have no cards in hand, its power doubles, basically. 2 cards away from making that a thing. Lady of Wax! Deploy Illuminate 2, sacrifice another troop, and she has Invincible. So let's summon 2 more Candlekin to get to 4. And then Wax Dawn can start making things bigger. Oh, come on! All the removal, so that's 5 things we've had voided now. The void is becoming a crowded place. I'm gonna let that hit. One card in hand. So let's just go ahead and Pyre Strike that while it's still in range. And because it would die, it gets voided instead. So hey, our turn to void something. Score on that front is still Neomaster 5, Thrawn 1. But we're on the board. So that naive lackey's death is going to be very short-lived. It will probably be back next turn off the charge power, and then thrown right back into play for another 4-drop. Ah, Sacred Stance first, so that will buff everything. The Droka Outcast gets 2 buffs because it natively gets 1 for when you conscript, and then it gets another point from Sacred Stance. Alright, Candlelit. Let's make all these candles bigger. We got a smash! Let's see, looking at my void. Oh, that's your void. My void's here. So, 2 rares were found and immediately neutralized. Lady of Wax and Llama Herder. Not looking good for Neomaster. Neomaster did win a prize last night, but was not able to conquer a final boss again tonight. GG's Neomaster, very well played. Well done. So, well, we're between challengers. For those of you just tuning in, you're watching Dungeon Masters of Entrath, the Hex Game Show. Normally this is Mokog's block on the official channel, but he was not feeling great tonight, and so he asked me to fill in with him. For him, normally I do this on Tuesday nights on the official channel, and then Wednesday night would be on my own channel. And yeah, that boss is really brutal. It's a reason it's tucked off in a corner. This is the last night we're doing this particular dungeon. Next week we are going to be... Why is that not going right? We are going to be starting the new dungeon, the Towers of the Nameless City. There is a link to the forums where I posted what all of that is about. So check that out when you have a moment here. Tonight, you will see slides detailing who the Tower Lords are for each of the 5 towers in the dungeon, and getting a little bit of backstory on who they are. I have those set up as to be slides that show when I need to take a quick break here, which is actually what I need to do coming up here. So what we're going to do right now, while I need to step away for a couple minutes, is we're going to do a Evo code giveaway, which is going to be based on chat activity. So if you need to have said something in chat within the last 20 minutes. So if you want to be eligible to win an Evo code, now is the time to speak up. As soon as I get back, I'm going to roll for that. And then after that, I am going to roll for entry into the next dungeon run, which would currently be between Bertless Boror, I'm horribly mispronouncing that, and Goliath. One of the two of them, as it is right now, would be the next challenger. But yeah, so if you want a shot at an Evo code, speak up or forever hold your peace. I will be back in 2 minutes or so, and while I'm gone, take a look at the Tower Lords that you will be facing off against starting next Tuesday. Alright, I am back. Let's roll for that Evo code, and the winner is Lazarus Ragnarok. Congratulations. I need to know your in-game name. I will send you, I need to verify you're still here, and then I will send you the code via Twitch Whisper, but they ask that we give the Hex Entertainment your in-game name for their purposes of tracking redemptions, just to make sure that basically who I gave the code to is actually who I said I gave the code to, I guess. So Lazarus, we're at 37 seconds. I'll give you a minute, and then I'm going to re-roll it here. And I'll give it 75 seconds. Should be safe. There's the clock. So we're at 55. While that time's ticking away, you see here, in place of a dungeon map starting next week, I will have this infographic that I post up from time to time to show the progression of where we're at in the dungeon. So it's going to have each of the tower lords on it, a short summary as to what the rules are for that dungeon, and then at the beginning, before every stream, I will update the floor number on the bottom to show where each tower is at. Raptos is the roaming boss that will randomly over time take the place of a dungeon encounter to fight you. And for funsies, we have a death counter for how many times Raptos has gotten killed. So it's been an hour, a minute and 49. We have not heard from Lazarus Ragnarok. We're gonna re-roll. Evo code winner Ravenok, are you still with us? I don't want to roll for the next dungeon challenger yet, just because I don't want to cause confusion on giveaways. But we'll give Ravenok a minute. Romo, you need an R on the end there. Exclamation point challenger. So you still have a second to... You both have the keyword wrong to challenge the dungeon. You have lost connection to the network. Uh-oh. Am I still streaming? Hex Manifesto is raiding with a party of 6. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Mokog could not join us tonight, so I am covering for his time slot. So we're doing some more Dungeon Master action. There you go. Champion of Solaris, you got it right there. You need the R on the end. Alright, so we had no response from Ravenok. We're going to roll again for the Evo code. And third time's the charm. Zero Clay. Zero Clay, are you still with us? Awesome. Alright, good. You are still here. And what is your in-game name? I need that from you, please. We may not have worker bot functioning. You may have to actually type it out. Z-E-E-R-O. Okay, thank you. So let me tend to the business of getting this code out. And Z-E-E-R-O. Yeah, I don't have that up right now. Give me just 1 second here. Yeah, there's 5 different towers to choose from, so you definitely have options as to which route you want to go. So this is... What I am linking right now is a link to my prize list. The prize pool is not accurate. Do not listen to what it says for current prize pool there. It's basically the current list of what I have in donations. Because I had already set things up for how we're going to start doing prizes next week. Which is next week, if you win, because I'm expecting more people to win with the format change in the new dungeon. Players are going to get 2 spins off the wheel of prizes. And so everything that's in that document, I added to the prize wheel here that could come up as a spin. And the wheel spin here is set up to automatically remove whatever is drawn from the list of things so that I don't have to remember that, and then I can just send things out. And then I'll be adding things to the wheel over time to keep things moving. So all the donations I've recently received are in there. A lot of my own stuff is in there. So if anybody wins tonight, that's how we're gonna do it. You're gonna get some hits off the Wheel of Fortune to get some prizes. And all right, now let's get to the most important thing, the reason we are here. Zero has been taken care of. I got some new names in there. Jakisha, you spelled Challenger wrong. Either you did or I did, but that's not how I have it to get in. We're gonna roll. Romo's Jr. You are the next contestant on Dungeon Masters of Entrath. And Jakisha, you got it right this time. You're gonna be in for the next roll. Alright, so I think I remember your in-game name. I think it's actually the same. So I just sent you a whisper. Go ahead and send me a challenge when you are ready, and we will kick off the next challenge of the evening. Romos Jr. versus Thrawn. Final night. Final night of our filler content dungeon before we start the huge, massive craziness that is the Towers of the Nameless City. Like it. Waiting on the challenge from Romo. I'm going to take the dungeon map down. I'm going to remember this time so that you don't miss the first couple turns. Hex, please sort again the challenge button, right? The cancel, the decline, and accept are in the wrong places. Did you say Leaning Tower of Pizza? Alright, so this is a little slower and more awkward than I would like, but it does have a pair of Whimsy Witches and a party fungi in it. So theoretically it's not. It could be nuts. I'm going to seek some fortune, though. Need to find that all-important wild threshold. Candle's gonna candle. I am... Okay, so sapphire. Not the flavor of candles I was expecting. Fortune. I really wanted a shard of the non-slow variety. That throws off the curve a little bit. Alright, so that's 2 candles and 2 bodies. Okay, we're going full aggro here. Rhyme Claw made brittle. Feeding into Consult the Talon to draw 3. I think I've probably seen this version of Candles somewhere, but it's been a while. I am not remembering much. Alright, so here's 3. I'm going to just keep seeking fortune to hit the shard drops. Because I can do a Whimsy Witch and a Party Fungi next turn, but those candles are going to get big. He's trying to light the dungeon on fire. Oh no, he's lighting the dungeon on fire. fix my really... Oh, gotta warm up to that if I'm gonna even attempt a falsetto. That was a really awful Princess Corey voice. We're not gonna do that again. So that is a very wide, uncomfortably wide board already. And public enemy number 1, the Hyperborean Hermit, can lock down stuff. Have Princess Corey cover me and make me the Princess Corey Dungeon Master. Oh, the layering's wrong. Nope. Nope. Move up. Move up. Move up. Move up. Like that. Hi, I'm Corey. I'm Princess Corey. It's a little disturbing. So you can't beat that. Alright, I would like to... Oh, here I was about to say I'd like to swing into something with life drain, but just kidding. Just kidding. Every deck you're seeing on tonight's episode is going to be one of the decks in the Silver Tower of the Towers of the Nameless City. That tower alone probably has 40-something different possible encounters because I haven't deleted any decks. I did make some new ones, so the Silver Tower is not completely a remix. But it also has all of the many older decks in it, so it's got the largest possible encounter pool. Right now the Gold Tower has about 14 or 15 decks in it, and that is going to continue to go up over time as I make more and more decks. The Gold Tower has the fewest right now with 6 built, but people have to play 3 in a row. So you have to fight half of them anyway. Aw, so we got to keep it only for it to be a 7/7 that's exhausted. I think Saf Candles are going to go the distance on this fight. Losing turns for the ices early on actually turned out to be a big deal. And Romo just leaning into that card advantage is 9 cards deeper in the deck. And now we see the reason for the brittling. They are considered elementals when they're in frost form, and therefore they're flying crabs. So that is 4 damage in the air. Oh no! No! You want a side of control with your candles? 2, 4. So the Hermit can exhaust this if it really wanted to. We're not dead yet. We have to suffer through one more turn. Unless there's an Illuminate trigger hitting around here somewhere. I'm going to take that swing as if there's not. Alright. Alright. It's Candle Jail. I'm going to have all the flying elementals, and you're going to have nothing. And there's the expected lockdown. No reason to play the shard. Forget about it. So this swing will be lethal. 2, 4, 6. We don't need to math. Definitely don't need to math. That is way more than sufficient. From 8 down to negative 15. And so, where's my map? Get my map back up here. Cancel out. And Romos has the choice. Where are we going, Romos? Are we going to 5, 15, 2, or 8? Choose your destiny. We're going to 8. Alright. So that is going to be the Fear of Birds. Fiona Honeyfinch that we saw earlier tonight. Go ahead and throw a challenge at me when you are ready. And we shall rumble. Ornithophobia, the fear of birds. Made its first appearance in October, late October, as part of the charity stream. One, two, three, but only one resource. So this hand is going to have to go back. This isn't much better, but it does have 2 resources. Nothing on 2. If I was going to get a second threshold, I would have hoped for the Sapphire first, for 3 obvious reasons. Yes, 8 is bird, bird. Bird is the word. Fiona Honeyfinch says hi from the sky. Oh, how sad is this? Mystic Naturalist X3. And no second Sapphire threshold. And now it's time for the Wrath of the Flying Elementals. That's right, children. You see, if you pray really hard to Livanth, your candles can sail in the air. The funny thing is, exhaust target opposing troop, you're doing me a favor if you hit the Mystic Naturalists. Alright. Yes, praise to Hex Gods for the Sapphire Shard and found it. And immediately loses the first Mystic Naturalist, but that's okay. We have a spare. Almost praise to the Hex Gods for more cards. So I could forward Frost Rock, but I want the Mystic Naturalist. You have your candles, I have my birds. And I think I want to try to swing here. Get those points of damage in, because it's just going to get locked down anyway as a blocker. And so now if Roma wants to exhaust something, I'm going to get a bird for it. Another Consult the Talon. So our Silver Talon Adjudicator right now would draw us 2 cards because we have fewer in hand. We would not gain health because we are leading the health race at this point. Are you going to... You're not going to exhaust this one, of course. But I will swing with it. You can avoid it. Do you have a void? You don't have a void. Alright, Silver Talon Mandate creates 3 Birdocrats. And whenever a troop readies, you put a... Oh, you had an Evaporate? Rude. So, whenever a troop readies, a debate counter gets put onto the Silver Talon Mandate. And then when there's 6 or more, the mandate comes back up into your hand, allowing you to recast it and make 3 more Birdocrats. So it's our little Birdocrats that could versus the Flying Candles that just got... That's probably going to make them bigger. Yep. Three Flying Candles. No swing. And... we now have more cards in hand, so the Silver Talon Adjudicator there is not helpful. And our charge power is also pretty useless against Flying Candles. It only hits ground-based troops. Hermit has no intention of swinging. Wrath of the Elementals. So that is 2 voided Mystic Naturalists. We still have 1 left. But this is looking grim for Fiona Honeyfinch's bird army. 9, only swinging with... Alright, call me a sucker, but I'm going to take that and let you get the Fate Weave. Problem is, this is a board that does not inspire any fear in Romos. Who exhausts the 3/5 at the end of our turn, can ready to exhaust another thing, finds another Hermit. And so now the Hyper Jail action can begin in earnest. Probably isn't swinging in because I just go block, 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 and take out 2 candles. Seek Adventure. Throw out a Mystic Naturalist. Probably won't be allowed to swing here. So this is a little awkward. I can't trade in, or I can't swing in worth a darn. And Romos is afraid of losing candles. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and play this now. We have fewer cards. Play down another Silver Talon Mandate for more Birdocrats. What's up, Witherstanch? How are you doing tonight? Okay, so one exhausted thing, two exhausted things. I mean, those are feeding the Silver Talon Mandates, so at least there's that. But the Mystic Naturalist can't swing in without dying to candles. Nope, I don't want to click attack there. So I need to find some kind of removal or something to try to break the balance of power here. How's the dungeon holding up? Romos is on the second encounter of their run. This is room 8, Ornithophobia, which is the fear of birds. So we have Fiona Honeyfinch here trying to push through with the bird army. Romos afraid to swing in and doesn't want to trade off candles. So we're in a bit of a standoff at the moment. Next week we are starting an entirely new dungeon. 5 dungeons in one, basically, where you'll be able to choose which kind of, or choose which of the towers you want to face. So it's been a while since I linked that. Again, if you haven't been to the forums today, there's a link to the forums that it's going to break down how next week's dungeon is going to work. And play another Frost Rock. And I think if you have 3 attack power, you swing. Yep, new year, new dungeon. Exactly. Also, I've been pushing to try to get this dungeon ready for more than a month now. It's like I have enough decks. I have the minimum number needed to really make it work. I can continue to make more decks as we go, so let's get this party started. Especially since now this is my second week on the official channel. I didn't want to go like 3 weeks into my run on the official channel, basically still running what would amount to filler off of my personal channel, because while I was trying to build this thing. Okay, why is that Sapphire Shard stuck there? Everybody else seeing this? Did I lose connection again? Clock is still ticking. You are disconnected from the servers. Hey, would you mind telling me if I'm just help me verify I'm still live? Close this out. We'll try to relaunch the game. Okay, good, thank you. That's weird. I almost never have game disconnect issues, and that's the second or third time today that's happened for me. Alright, come on now. Oh, that's not good. I'm assuming other people are still playing Hex, okay? We're going to give this a 10 count here. And then I'm going to try to load this up again. So I'm running off the Steam client, and I doubt my standalone client is up to date. I'd probably have to patch it up. So if I gave up on Steam and attempted to do this through the standalone client, I would not get back within 5 minutes because I'm 100% sure I'd have to download some patches. And I'm not sure restarting my computer would do anything. It would also mean that I'd have to go offline, get all my screens opened up again, and we're talking like 10 minutes at least. And that's if I speed run trying to get the stream set up again. Alright, what the heck, game? Rhombus must be so confused right now. Come on. I believe in you, Hex. I'm still live, still have internet access, so be good to me this time. I think we're gonna have trouble again, yeah, because it shouldn't take that long to try to connect. Alright, so I don't know that this is actually going to help, but I'm going to take the stream offline and do a full reset of my computer and then fire things back up. So it's probably going to take me like 5 to 10 minutes to get back in, but I don't see just clicking the launch for Hex over and over again helping. So we're going to give this a shot and we'll see if this fixes the issues. So bear with me and I will be back in a few.